How did Lowell's Black abolitionists fight for freedom and equality? Black Americans were at the heart of the anti-slavery movement in the Spindle City. Lowell's Black population was small, but included many who were active in the abolitionist cause. From 1823 to 1861, Lowell's mills turned millions of pounds of cotton, cultivated by enslaved people in the United States, into finished fabric. Thousands of workers, mostly women, tended machines that spun cotton yarn or looms that wove cotton yarn into cloth. Outside the factory walls, an anti-slavery movement gradually took hold among the city's residents. Black Lowellians actively opposed slavery, demanding immediate abolition and equal treatment. We know from documents they left behind how these Black activists engaged in the radical abolition movement. They wrote articles for abolitionist newspapers, convened anti-slavery meetings, harbored self-emancipated people, and raised funds to purchase the freedom of people who ran from enslavement. They hosted visitors such as the Amistad Africans and engaged in conversation about slavery with white residents of Lowell. Who were these freedom fighters? Lowell's Black freedom fighters included native-born residents, immigrants from the Caribbean, and self-emancipated people who escaped bondage on Southern plantations. Many of Lowell's Black residents worked as barbers, which offered them autonomy as well as the possibility of owning their own business. In fact, the barbershop became an important site for the formation of anti-slavery networks. John Levy wrote about how he and fellow abolitionists conversed at his barbershop. In his words,
"They remained till 10 o'clock, conversing with me and with my customers upon the question of slavery."
Lowell's Horatio Foster, another Black activist, wrote articles for The Liberator and helped found local anti-slavery societies. Yet another activist, Nathaniel Booth, liberated himself from bondage on a Virginia plantation and settled in Lowell. He was aided in his escape by fellow Lowellians, Black and white, who protected him from purported slave catchers. And John Fountain, a free Black man, came through Lowell in 1844 to raise funds to purchase his enslaved wife. How did other people respond to their efforts? Even though Massachusetts was a free state, not all of Lowell's residents supported anti-slavery or abolitionist movements. Many of them were mill owners, investors, and other wealthy businessmen who had ties to the textile industry and were actively engaged in the anti-abolitionist movement. They sought to suppress and discredit the rhetoric of anti-slavery activists. Some argued against any action that was contrary to the Constitution or threatened the existence of the Union. Abolitionists faced the threat of mob violence from anti-abolitionists when they spoke out against slavery. Perhaps surprisingly, some members of Lowell's textile elite were against slavery. Mill agent Linus Child sought funds to purchase an enslaved person's freedom, and Royal Southwick, the superintendent of a Lowell textile mill, was an avid abolitionist and friend to and supporter of John Levy. As a place where residents disagreed strongly about slavery, Lowell was not unique. Taking a closer look at Lowell helps us understand how people in northern industrial cities more broadly came to care about slavery, and how Black abolitionists endeavored to end slavery even in places where it had powerful support, like Lowell.